Hello, everyone. My guest today is Jordan O'Connor. He was born and raised in rural Western New York. He went to engineering school and worked as an electrical engineer for 7 years. He started Closet Tools, that's closet.tools, as a way to pay down student loans and transitioned to full-time founder when it made more than double what he made at his full-time job. All right, Jordan, you ready to take us to the top?
Let's do it.
All right, how much in debt were you coming out of college?
So combined with my wife is about 200K.
Wow, that's incredible. And what did you study? Was it electrical engineering?
Yeah, so I went for electrical engineering. She went for health science, but mine was mostly about 150. I loaned out everything, housing, everything, and didn't have any help there. So it was 100% loans that paid through college.
I mean, what are you thinking as you graduate? I mean, is it a scary feeling? Were you already married? Were you already with your wife at that point or your girlfriend?
Yeah, so pretty much got married about 6 months after I graduated, and of course, the six months is right about when the loans start being due, and so I was thinking once the payment started coming in, and it was like 1,500 bucks a month or something like that, and that was on like the low end. That's like push it out like 30 years or something. I was like, wow, this is not really what I signed up for. Put the budget pretty tight for sure.
And so how did you, I mean, you took a full-time job though out of college, right?
Yep. Yeah. So I transitioned. I did an internship out of college, and I transitioned right into full time employment. And my wife, she actually got pregnant pretty early in our marriage, so she just stayed home with the kids. So it was just a single income.
So how old are you today?
So I'm 28,
20, and you graduated what year?
2015. So
Okay.
5 years ago.
So you said you did electrical engineering for 7 years. So you were already doing this when you were still in college.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was the same job, but just different label on it, basically. Yep.
I see. Got it. So sorry. And you said you're 20, how much, 20 what today?
28.
28 today. Okay. Interesting. And graduated 5 years ago. So, when did you, I mean, help me think through the transition of like you're balancing your expenses, your student loan debt, pregnant wife, you have a job, right? Which you know them well because you already worked with them in college. I mean, what were they paying you at full-time salary right out of college?
I think I started at like 72K, something like that. Cost of living is really low here, so the salaries are pretty low.
Where are you?
Close to Rochester, New York. Yep. So for the area, that's pretty average pay, especially starting out, just getting into college and stuff like that. But the net take home pay is like 4,200 a month or something like that. And so between my debt and my wife's debt, it was like almost half of our income was going to student loans, which was kind of crazy.
And she wasn't working, right? Because you have the kiddo.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Crazy. Okay. So what does Closet Tools do and when did you launch it?
So I started that just over 2 years ago. It's an interesting story. So I actually started it for my wife. So she actually started selling clothes on Poshmark just as a way to get some additional income. And she was doing a lot of manual tasks. The way that Poshmark's set up, you have to share your items and you have to engage with other users and stuff like that. And she was spending a lot of time doing that. And I looked at it and I was like, I feel like I can automate that. And I was just in the middle of learning some web development stuff and learning JavaScript. And so I wrote a little script. It automated a few things. She was using it. Her closet was doing really well with it. And I wrote a blog post about it on my personal blog. And then it was maybe a few months later, Google picked up on it. I started ranking in some SEO for some SEO terms. And I started getting emails from people saying like, can I use this? Like, what does it do? How does it work? And so that was kind of in the back of my mind for almost a whole year before I even started Closet Tools. I kind of had that validation of like people want this thing. And so that's kind of how it got started.
How were they finding on Google? Like what keywords were they searching?
So I had written like kind of a short blog post, like this is a Poshmark, automation script. So anybody that's searching that, right, like Poshmark automation, Poshmark bot, those types of things. My post started coming up in those search results.
Yeah, you have one article that brings in most of your organic traffic. It's at closet.tools/Poshmark-bot. And you rank number one for Poshmark ShareBot, Poshmark bots, Poshmark bot, Poshmark algorithm. And these bring you several hundred clicks per month. So this was how you got your first customers then.
No. Well, so, I mean, that's today, right? 2 years ago, I bought the domain, right? So you don't have all that traffic coming in.
How much was that?
I mean, it was just it was like $12 a year or something like that. It's nothing crazy. But my initial traffic actually came from Reddit. There's a Poshmark subreddit, and they were pretty lax back then about Poshmark bots and stuff like that. So I actually was like, "Hey, I made this thing. Give me your email, and I'll give you the beta script for free, and then you give me feedback." And then so I did that, and I got about 150 signups for the free one. And then I took about 2 months and kind of wrapped it around SaaS package. So, I did billing and stuff like that and made an actual GUI for it. And then I flipped it on them and sold it for $30 a month. And I got, I think 10 customers the first day.
Of the 150.
Yep.
That's amazing. How many customers today?
Just about 1,000 now.
Wow. Okay. And what are they are still paying about $30 a month each?
Yeah. I haven't changed the price. I priced it high early. It was definitely like, looking back, I never would have charged that, but I know like SaaS advice all along is like charge way more than you think it should be. So I did that. I honestly should increase the price a lot today. There's a couple features I came out with recently where people are making hundreds of dollars a day using it. So I certainly could increase prices, but people like that it's reasonably priced. So.
Mm-hmm. And so 1,000 paying $30, so it's doing about $30,000 a month right now in revenue.
Yeah, just about. I mean, I have annual subscriptions. It's $250 a year, so I'm at like 28K.
Yeah, I mean, still impressive and significantly high. What is that annually? That is about $360,000 annually, or about 6 times your full-time electrical engineering salary out of college.
Yeah. Trust me, it's kind of crazy, and it's been interesting because it's been so not slow, but just like consistent. And it's because of the SEO. So that's one thing I kind of wanted to talk about is like how SEO has been a main traffic driver. There's a real big stigma against Poshmark bots on Poshmark. A lot of people are against them because it's automation. It's kind of like cheating, right? And so if you try to advertise on social media, you get eaten up. These people are in the comments like, "This is garbage. Like, you're a bot. Like, nobody likes you." But by ranking on SEO, you're just getting the people that are looking for the thing that you're already offering. And so these are the people that are, incognito mode, like, "Oh, I want a Poshmark bot. And so by ranking for all those terms, that's how I've been consistently able to add the right people to the tool. And so it's just been growing from there.
You've also written great pieces like, Poshmark selling tips, Poshmark tips for selling on Poshmark, and these do well for you as well.
Yep. Yeah. And so I had studied a lot of SEO things, years ago. And so I knew exactly how to rank for specific keywords. And of course, nobody else is writing for these things. So, it was very easy to rank for them. But I also did a good job to make sure that I was writing the best content so I wouldn't get outranked by some other competitors or anything like that.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, you targeted the volume on all these keywords. They're all under 600 searches per month. But because you rank number like 1 or 2 or 3 for all of them, you're getting like 80, 90 clicks exactly. on each of them. And these are long. I mean, I'm on one of the articles right now. I mean, I can tell this takes a long time to write. Nothing sexy or fancy, but it's clear there's H1 tags. It's clear the H1 tags are like strategic, right? It's clear you put a lot of thought into this.
Yep. Yeah. It's all strategy. That's been huge for me. And I think, over the last 2 years, I kind of wrote them all very quickly in the beginning. And then I'll do like a 2020 update, right, where I add some stuff for now, but it still ranks good.
Yeah. How many total articles you have?
It's something like 6 or something. It's not a lot.
Guys, so there you have it, right? SEO strategy doesn't have to be like launch a blog and hire 20,000 writers and do all this. You can just hyper target 6 things, update them once a year, make sure they're smart, and build a $30,000 a month business, right, Jordan? That's the way to do it.
That's right. Yep.
What were you at 12 months ago in terms of revenue?
I mean, do you want me to look or you want me to just guess? Let me look.
Tell us what you're doing too. So what tool do you use to track this?
So I use all Stripe for everything. Let's see, 12 months. 12 months I was at 12, basically 12K.
12,000. Okay, interesting. And you've done all this bootstrapped, right?
Yeah, 100% bootstrapped. And, it helped having a job. So, I didn't have any, it's not like I quit my job. I actually kind of had them both in sync for about 2 years. And so, it's 100% bootstrap.
Would you ever raise capital if it was on the right terms?
I don't think so. I think I would only ever sell, really. I think the market's very, it's not huge. And I think that I don't know. I actually don't know how big it is, but I know that there's a bot that was, it's been in existence for a long time, many years before mine was, and it's got like 6,000 users or something like that. So I feel like that's kind of the market size. So I don't think it's worth like pumping a million into it or something to see if you can capture the whole market.
How are you capturing the market today? Are you doing any paid stuff? Like, what's your CAC to get a $30 a month customer?
Yeah, I don't actually know what my CAC is. I actually don't do a lot of tracking, but I do about 3K in Google Ads. So it's all those same keywords that I rank for SEO wise. I'm doubling down on those and running ads on those too.
And how many new customers do you get per month?
Right now I'm about 420 I got in the last month. So I'm doing over 10 free trials a day.
But how many new customers?
Yeah, so new free trials would be new, about 420 in the last month I've done.
But so you're paying about $7 if you're spending $3,000, $7 a trial. But how many of the trials convert to paid?
40%.
Okay, got it. So to call it 200-ish on the $3,000 spend. So you're paying like $15 to get a $30 a month customer.
Yeah, rough math. That sounds about right.
I mean, yeah, that math works. That's also impressive. I mean, you have 1,000 total customers and you're adding 200 new customers every month. That's like that's a high growth rate.
Yeah, it's growing faster now than it ever has, really. I don't know. I think word of mouth honestly is a huge driving factor. There's a very, the people that actually use bots, they, are very close with each other, so they actually talk about it a lot. But I also think I actually just started doing advertising back in March, I think February. So I mean, that just obviously amplified that the free trials. I was doing probably closer to like 200 free trials, several months ago, a month.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, I mean, why wouldn't you go try and maybe raise like $60,000 in like debt so you don't have to sell equity and use that money to run some ad experiments to keep fueling this growth?
I don't know. Mostly because I don't know what would actually happen. Obviously, I could probably pay it off and it would be fine. But for now, it's actually kind of nice that it just grows consistently because I'm able to manage. I have to do all the customer support. I have to do anytime anything breaks. Because it's a third-party app. It's not like there's an official Poshmark API. Things break when Poshmark updates the site. I have to spend all night fixing the app so that the next day people can use it.
Jordan, try something with me real quick. On your computer, go to founderpath.com and scroll down to the second part. You'll see a big calculator.
Okay.
And type in like, okay, you're doing $3,000 a month in ads. Let's say you want to run an experiment and spend another 5K. Type in like 60 grand.
Okay.
What's it tell you on the left? Right above the purple button, it'll say, hey, can you take 60 grand now and make more than X in MRR? What's the X?
1670.
Yeah, so that's the question. Could you take 60 grand today and add more than $1,700 in new MRR?
Oh, I would say, of course. I mean, I think I could do that anyways, though. I think that's probably the difference for me. But oh yeah, 100%.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, the whole thing, I guess, really is sort of like what you want to do with the company. Do you want to sort of keep growing it exactly how you're growing it, and you're content with that? And if you try and grow faster, it could break, so you don't want to invest additional capital, which is fine. A fine answer too, by the way.
Yeah. I think I've always been hesitant to grow it too fast, I guess. Especially because I am just one person, and I don't really want to hire a team. I would much rather just be me. It's much less responsibility on my end. So, like the last month, I just told you I had my third kid. Like I didn't write a line of code for an entire month, and I just answered some emails and stuff like that. That was basically it. So it's kind of a nice, pretty sweet gig for now.
Yeah, I can imagine. What's churn look like? What's annual revenue churn or monthly revenue churn?
The churn numbers are, I don't think they're completely accurate, but it says 15.4% right now. Yeah, it says it's high churn, but the way I have it set up is if they miss a billing payment, then they are immediately churned. But there's a significant percentage of those people that come right back on if they miss a payment or something like that. So,
and that's monthly 15% or annually?
That would be in the last. That's the last 12 months because I had it set up.
Okay, so 15% annual churn.
Yeah.
That's actually not horrible for this price point. Interesting. Very cool. And obviously profitable, right? I mean, so you pay yourself, you pay someone ad spends. I mean, what are you profiting per month? Basically like 20 grand?
Yeah, it's ridiculous at this point. Yeah, it's something like that. It's kind of crazy. So yeah, 20, 25, something like that.
So what would, I mean, if someone came to you and offered you something like, 5x EBITDA multiple. So if you're doing 25 grand a month in profits, that's 300 grand a year in profits. Essentially, if someone offered you like, I don't know, some multiple on that, would you take a deal?
I don't know. I think I'd want to get it a little bigger. If I got probably above maybe like the 2 million, 3 million mark, I'd probably take it. I did get some offers several months ago, but I was making, 20K. They wanted to do like 600K or something like that. And I was like, I mean, I'm going to do that anyways, probably. So, in the next year or two. So I don't know. It wasn't really worth it for me.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not worth giving up your freedom.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Very cool, man. All right. Let's wrap up with your famous 5. Number 1, favorite business book.
Favorite business book. I like Deep Work, Cal Newport. That's a good one.
Number 2, is there a CEO you're following or studying?
No, not really.
Number 3, what's your favorite online tool for building your company?
I think I'd say Stripe.
Number 4, how many hours of sleep do you get every night?
It changes. The last week, probably about 5, but I try to get 8.
Yep. Anywhere in between. Yeah, because you're 28, 3 kids, married, right?
Yep.
Last question. What do you wish your 20-year-old self knew?
I wish my 20-year-old self knew how to code.
Guys, there you have it. Closet.tools. He came out of college with 200 grand in debt, took a $72,000 engineering job annually, then launched his own company to help his wife. That tool is now doing $30,000 a month in revenue, $20,000 in profit, making 4, 5, 6x what he was doing in a full-time job, scaling nicely, all bootstrapped, over 1,000 customers paying $30 a month. Congratulations, Jordan. Thanks for taking us to the top.
Thanks, man. Thanks for having me.
One more thing before you go. We have a brand new show every Thursday at 1 p.m. Central. It's called Shark Tank for SaaS. We call it Deal or Bust. One founder comes on, 3 hungry buyers, they try and do a deal live, and the founder shares back-end dashboards, their expenses, their revenue, ARPU, CAC, LTV, you name it, they share it, and the buyers try and make a deal live. It is fun to watch every Thursday, 1 p.m. Central. Additionally, remember, these recorded founder interviews go live. We release them here on YouTube every day at 2 p.m. Central. To make sure you don't miss any of that, make sure you click the subscribe button below here on YouTube, the big red button, and then click the little bell notification to make sure you get notifications when we do go live. I wouldn't want you to miss breaking news in the SaaS world, whether it's an acquisition, a big fundraise, a big sale, a big profitability statement, or something else. I don't want you to miss it. Additionally, if you want to take this conversation deeper and further, we have by far the largest private Slack community for B2B SaaS founders. You want to get in there. We've probably talked about your tool if you're running a company or your firm if you're investing. You can go in there and quickly search and see what people are saying. Sign up for that at nathanlatka.com/Slack. In the meantime, I'm hanging out with you here on YouTube. I'll be in the comments for the next 30 minutes. Feel free to let me know what you thought about this episode. And if you enjoyed it, click the thumbs up. We get a lot of haters that are mad at how aggressive I am on these shows, but I do it so that we can all learn. We have to counter those people. We got to push them away. Click the thumbs up below to counter them and know that I appreciate your guys' support. All right, I'll be in the comments. See ya.